certain societies are better at integrating people than others. Traditionally, Canada thinks that it's done a pretty good job. The United States is called the melting pot. European countries often are not very good at integration. Therefore, is this a different kind of crisis? Is this time different?
I think Europe has done, and here we might have, I suspect and hope, a bit of agreement. I think Europe has done a pitiful job at forthrightly defending the virtues and moral decencies and political traditions of Western pluralist, liberal capitalist democracy. Europe is essentially an organisation managing the business cycle and hoping for the best when it comes to shopping for Christmas. And that is an abject surrender. If we are ever going to make any headway against militant apocalyptic Salafism, there has to be something to offer the refugee population, whether they're, wherever they come from, whether they're from South Sahara Africa. And it's as though that wasn't part of what we need to do. We need to be less defensive, less mute, less muffled. They should be reading Locke and Milton and Mill and, making that tradition as passionately important and a stake in citizenship is as important as screening and putting up walls and, having decent counter-terrorist intelligence. I don't know, maybe...
I agree with you completely. Yeah. We have been abject, pathetic. We've lain prostrate on the floor. We've allowed people to come in, change large parts of our communities, our cities, and nobody amongst our leadership, and this is not about getting religious in government, but no one's had the guts and the courage to stand up for our Christian culture, because that's who we are.
I don't want to hear Christian. I happen to be Jewish. Well, there was nothing.
Well, we come from. Well, as you well know, it is a Judeo-Christian culture, right? And that is our culture.
There's that is our culture. Judeo-Christian culture.
As soon as
you either believe Jesus is the Messiah or you don't.
As soon as I start to talk about real values, you shrink into your shell like everybody else, don't you? We have our Judeo-Christian culture. We have been gutless and weak in defending it. But the real problem here is we can talk and we can look back at various migratory waves, various refugee waves, and the problem is this. Mark isn't suggesting that Islam's a bad religion. I'm certainly not suggesting that, but I am saying that what Wahhabism has done, funded by the Saudi Arabians, has been a cancer within Islam.
Absolutely,
all right?
agree.
And, the 1974 boom in the oil price has led to so much of what we're all suffering. But here's the problem, and here's why we're nervous and we're cautious about opening up our doors to untold millions of people from those countries. It is that never before, integration may have been difficult, but never before have we had to live with the fifth column, living inside our own communities and our own country that want to kill us, blow us up and change our way of life. And I'm arguing for having a sensible refugee policy, but we must be able to screen people before they come to settle in our countries. Surely that's just plain common sense.